have been gone for so long and I'm back. This has never happened to me, but I thought I was filming this whole time and I was talking for like 5 minutes. I'm a little bit annoyed, but it's all right. Now I'm really filming and I'm gonna try to remember everything I just told you guys. Basically letting you know that sickness hit our home this winter, like big time, intense. We started with the boys, first week of January. They got the flu about 4 or 5 days apart, coughed for like 2 weeks. We thought our life was, gonna get back to normal, and I was already starting to plan field trips. I love doing winter field trips to museums and kind of further out places because it's cold, it's rainy a lot of the time. All of our friends are sick, so we can't see each other, so we just like venture out and do stuff like that winter time in particular, things that I don't really make time for in the spring or summer or prettier times of year. But then right when we thought things were gonna get better, I got the flu. I got it on Inauguration Day. I could tell I was a little not feeling too well that day, and so I started to cook. I made granola, I made a big batch of chicken soup, I made dinner, I made bread, just to have stuff, because I was like, I think it's coming and I wanna be prepared. And sure enough, by 7 o'clock, fever hit and I was down for 4 days. I had fever for 4 days and then weakness for like 3 days, cough. I drank so much tea so constantly, chamomile tea with ginger and lemon, that I think that was what completely relieved me of having any congestion whatsoever. I never got congested, so that was a huge blessing because I hate that. But my fever was rough, and I let it run its course for the first 2 days, and then when I had like 103.6 for like 7 hours, I was like, okay, I'm gonna have some Tylenol now. So I had some Tylenol. It relieved me for a little while. Then of course my fever came back, let it run its course. It was a lower fever, so I just let it go. And then one night I took Tylenol because I wanted to sleep. I had slept so bad. I had insomnia. I never have insomnia, but I was up all night. And it's like, is this the fever? I can't even sleep. This is so weird. I'm tired and I want to sleep, but I couldn't. And I was Googling, can fever cause insomnia? And it was like, yep. So I think that's what happened to me one of the nights. So the next night I took Tylenol and I slept great. It was over, very weak, very tired, started to get my energy back, just started gearing up to like, okay, let's get back to normal life. And then I even got the stomach bug. And a week later to the day, I got the stomach bug. And it knocked me out. His was significantly milder than mine. I was like 5 days. I am just now starting to eat again. Like, I had gentle, bland foods for like 5 or 6 days, because during the stomach bug, of course, I barely ate, but then afterwards I could not eat. My stomach, everything was just not good. So I had to just have apple and banana. I had rice, I had crackers, and then when I would get hungry, my stomach hurt so bad that I had to like eat a cracker fast, just to like soothe it. And it got better and better and better, but it's been like a week and a half now, and I'm just now letting myself eat other things. I had my first seasoned meal last night for dinner. I had my first cup of coffee yesterday morning. I had my first cup of tea this morning, and I was so happy. I missed my tea so much. Like, I sat down at the table, I was like, I'm eating this amazing avocado toast and tea, and I was so happy. So my stomach just feels different. So that's why I know I'm not back to normal, because when I eat, my stomach always feels fine, but it just doesn't feel fine. So I just know it's gradually getting rebalanced, the acidity and all that. I'm taking probiotics, I'm doing all this stuff. But anyway, just catching you up. Now today I feel great. I feel energized, I feel motivated. I feel like with all the help I had from the boys and my mom during sickness, my house stayed pretty much in good order. And there was like days in between that I was like, I can do this. And I would like clean the guinea pig cage and then lay out for 5 hours exhausted, or do laundry and then just be done. Like I would have to sit to fold the laundry and do one task and just stop and take breaks. I haven't worked out in 3 weeks, and I think today might be my first day back. I take playing it by ear because I'm gonna be in the kitchen for a while now. So just a really big pause in our life for the last 3.5 weeks. No, more than that, month. About a month now. And slowly coming out of it. My sweet husband somehow dodged everything. I don't understand, but praise the Lord. So glad he did. My mom too, thankfully, she was over here a lot helping, but I was like, stay away, thank you, but no, because I did not want her to get sick, especially the flu. So things are getting back to normal, thank God. I have been busy in my kitchen because of course, with mom down, food was probably the biggest thing that suffered. Fun, yummy, elaborate meals by mom. It was more like very, very simple. Like, here's your rice and meat, you know, like just eat something because I can't do anything. It was just like bare minimum food and I couldn't eat anyway. So it was really, and I was so weak and tired, but the boys helped a lot in the kitchen as well. But now that I feel better, I've made granola, I've made chia pudding, I've got my second ferment of this kombucha that was just sitting there, empty bottles for like 2 weeks. I made cinnamon rolls yesterday. I've got some beans soaking. I'm gonna make some chicken tortilla soup tomorrow. I've got some pork chops defrosting. I'm making what I'm hoping to make tonight, scalloped potatoes and pork chops and a veggie. What else? I've baked a lot of bread since I've emerged from my sickness. I have the intention of making some lion's mane tincture today. Lion's mane is a mushroom that supposedly is really, really good for cognitive health. So I bought some mushrooms, I bought some vodka, and I'm going to attempt trying that tincture out. One little bottle costs $30. The mushrooms cost 20 and the vodka costs 15. So I'm sure I'll get several little bottles out of the batch that I make. So I'll definitely be gaining there. And what else? We bought half a pig, and there's great savings in buying half a pig or half a cow. We bought half a cow right before Thanksgiving, which was a huge blessing. Most of the cuts were amazing, most of them. The spare ribs were a big disappointment. There was like no meat on them. And the ground beef is fattier than any ground beef we've ever bought. So that was a disappointment. But it's okay. I just cook it down, drain it, and then, you know, cook it some more. I never do that with our other ground beef. So just the extra step's a little annoying, but it's okay. We saved a lot of money. The steaks were unbelievably incredible. The roasts have been superb. And what else did we get? I feel like that's it. We got steaks, roasts, ground beef, and spare ribs. Amazing. So that was significantly less disappointing than the half a pig. The half a pig, the pork chops look good. The ham steaks they're decent. The ground pork is ground fat, and there's a lot of it, and it is so discouraging. So I don't think I'll ever do half a pig again. It's nice to be able to pick the meat cuts that you are doing, even if it's a little bit more expensive, because you can see it and pick the leaner, more meaty cuts, right? So that's something that happened recently. So the pork chops I'm making tonight are from that half a pig, and we've learned a lot from the experience, and it's okay. So I think that's it to catch you up. I'm gonna be planting my garden very soon. I pulled out some seeds. This is definitely planting season for the garden. Just gonna get it fenced in again and decide what I'm gonna direct sow now in the winter. Gonna direct sow some peas, some carrots, some radishes, some flowers. I've got a bunch of marigold seeds that I saved from last year. I might check and see what sunflowers do, even if I sow them directly this early, just to see. If it doesn't work, I'll wait and I'll sow some more. And I'm gonna get some spinach seeds and direct sow that as well. I might try these zinnias as well. And everything else, I'm just gonna wait until season. The last 4 years, I have started seeds inside, and they have been successful, but I'm not gonna do it this year. I just feel like even though they have been successful, I always over plant. I'm not gonna plant seeds this year in the house. I'm gonna wait to direct sow once the season for the seeds comes. And we are gonna do some rearranging in the garden. All of our berry bushes, the soil is just so poor, they're not growing well. So we're gonna build a huge raised bed and bring in compost and good soil, and then replant the berry bushes in that area and add strawberries and continue with our muscadines, figs, blueberries, blackberries, raspberries, and we're gonna add a little strawberry bed. So that's a hope that we can accomplish this spring, early on in the spring. And that's the extent of the garden planning that I've done so far. My chicken's egg production has increased seemingly overnight. Between molting and shorter winter days, the egg production was down to like 5 a day. Well, this is eggs just from the last 3 days, and we've had eggs every day for breakfast. So looks like I'm gonna be able to start giving my mom's eggs again, and maybe some friends' eggs again. I always give friends eggs when they're like coming out my ears, but not in the wintertime. My chicken feed provider, which is this Mennonite store, shut down. So I had to do a lot of research November and December to decide what I was going to do to make my own chicken feed. So we've been making our own chicken feed since December, and we decided on a blend of corn, wheat, field peas, kelp powder, and oats, and sunflower seeds. And it has been great so far. So happy for that. I still roast eggshells every day and give it to them. I give them a bunch of scraps on the really, really, really cold days. I save fat all the time. So I've got some fat here, and I'll mix this up with oats or their feed, or give them a little extra corn that day, a couple of handfuls in the morning. And this really helps their bodies generate extra heat, especially right before bedtime, to help them stay warmer in the night. So we did that every night when it was like super cold, and it worked out pretty well. So today's tasks will involve starting, because it's gonna take like 2 weeks, starting the lion's mane mushroom tincture. Very exciting. Got it on Amazon. They're dried mushrooms. They're easy to make. All you need is this Everclear vodka. I can even post the recipe in the description box. And some elderberry syrup. Got this from my friend. It's a little setup kit with the cinnamon and probably ginger and cloves and stuff in here. If there aren't any cloves, I'll probably add some of my own. I will say we haven't had the flu in like 7 or 8 years, And last year's the first time I made barely any elderberry syrup. And this is the first year that I have not been adamant about giving my boys elderberry syrup. I don't know why. Maybe I just had a lazy year, but I wonder if that's why we got the flu, because we were not good about elderberry this year. But no way to know. And then the last thing I'll be doing today is making I'm gonna look up some homemade dog treats, because our little boys are turning 3 on Valentine's Day, and I would love to make them some homemade dog treats. They're not that big on peanut butter like most dogs are, so I might go the sweet potato route. So I'm gonna look up some recipes and do that today too. I am so happy to be back. I hope you guys have fun with me on this video. All right, I got a large sweet potato. It's gonna be, I think, 3 cups of oats and 1/2 cup of peanut butter. And that's going to be the ingredients for the homemade dog treats. I'm gonna peel this and boil it and mash it up. And I need just 3/4 of the mash. So let's see how it goes. While this is boiling, I'm gonna get started on the lion's mane tincture as well. I pulled out last night's dinner leftovers for lunch. We had chicken. I made the whole chicken in the Instant Pot. Then I deboned it and I saved the bones and broth that was in there to make bone broth with later. I put it in the freezer. Then I sauteed onions, garlic, green beans in a skillet with olive oil. Added the chicken, seasoned it with salt, pepper, turmeric, garlic powder. And in a separate pot, I made the rice. And then I made curry mustard sauce. So you make mayonnaise, you add 1/2 cup of mustard and 2 tablespoons of curry powder. So you serve it with the rice, then the chicken and veggies on top, and the curry mustard sauce on top of that. And it's so yummy. But to store the meal, I just combined it all together, and now it's more like a stir fry for the next day's lunch. So it said to put 1 cup of oats, whole rolled oats, and then to grind up 2 cups of rolled oats. So here's my 1 cup, and I'm gonna just put it directly under the grain mill, and I'm gonna mill 2 cups. The directions are to use a food processor, but since I have a mill, I can make flour on the spot much easier. So I don't have any cutesy molds for the dog treats, and honestly rolling this out seems a little complicated. It's very crumbly, but if you press it together it stays in shape. So I'm just gonna do little discs like this. Okay, it is 2:05 and I'm pretty much done in the kitchen until snack time, which won't be for another like hour and a half. That's usually when my kids get hungry, around 3:30. So I'm gonna make myself a pot of tea, go sit in the living room and read the first 3 chapters of a new book with the kids. And then I'll probably exercise, and then hopefully I really want to play a game with them. We may have to let me have some dinner prep time and then play a board game. If you guys don't know this about me, you probably don't actually. I love elaborate, long board games. So I'm a Monopoly fan. We love Catan. We love Cash Flow. We love Puerto Rico. German board games. They're so awesome. I love Clue. I love Monopoly Deal, the card game. Rummikub. Oh, love Rummikub. There's so many good games. Quirkle. It's pretty fun. I love Sequence. I don't know if you know what that is. Battleship. I grew up on Parcheesi and Chinese checkers, so I love those, even though they're not complex at all. My boys love chess. I can pass. It's too stressful. It's not fun, but it's really cool that they're good at it. Yep, so that's what we're gonna do now. I also, I went ahead and made some echinacea tincture, or got some started since I ran out and I just haven't been in the mood to make anything. So since I was making the lion's mane, I thought I would go ahead and make the echinacea. And while I was under my cabinet looking through all my herbs, I ran into my sprouting seeds. So I'm soaking some of those so I can start a tray tomorrow and see how it goes. So there's a lot of fun in the kitchen going on, and I'm happy to be feeling good to do it all again. I decided on a hot matcha latte. So I put a teaspoon of matcha green tea powder in my cup with some honey, and then you heat up the water. I always use my frother to stir my matcha because I don't have one of the little fancy bamboo whisks, but this works perfect. You just gotta be careful when it's in a cup. In fact, I usually don't do it in this size cup, so if it spills over, it's because it's not the norm. It's kind of funny. It's 3:05. It's literally exactly 1 hour since the last time I filmed. So I'm going to attempt exercising, see how I feel. I feel good enough to try, which I can say it's the first time I feel like that this whole sickness. And my stomach feels better today than yesterday, for sure. So I'm very excited. I'm gonna try probably a Tabata, like a shorter Tabata video. I use this app called Fit On, and it's free, and they have so many incredible workouts on there. It is amazing that it's free. Of course you can pay for stuff, but I just go the free route. Something else I haven't done since before I was sick, or since I got sick, is my daily walks. I was up to a mile every day for sure, but when I could, I would walk 2 miles. And I was like at 12,000 steps a day and loved it because it was such a good cardio work out, and then I would come in from my walk and do either weight training or Tabata or HIIT or Pilates, whatever I was in the mood for that day. But I have not been able to walk for like 3 weeks. So I'm really excited for good weather on Thursday that will permit me to get back out there. My notifications, I have not met any of my activity goals in so long. It's crazy. So I'm putting in my workout and I'm going to choose my Tabata video and get going. So after this, I'll probably go prep dinner and then we're going to play our game. And I just wanted to thank you for joining me today on this little life update vlog. Hope you enjoyed. God bless you guys and see you a lot sooner than this last time has been. God bless you guys.